The coffee shop encounter. Michael Thornton was having one of those mornings. Sophie had spilled juice on her favorite purple dress just as they were leaving for preschool. Then the car wouldn't start, forcing them to walk 6 blocks in the crisp autumn air. By the time he dropped Sophie off and made it to the coffee shop near his apartment, he was already running 30 minutes behind schedule. The line at Riverside Coffee was longer than usual. Michael took his place at the back, checking his phone anxiously. He had a job interview today at Mercer Industries, a marketing firm downtown. It was an important opportunity, one that could change everything for him and Sophie. A fresh start in Boston, a stable position, a chance to build the life his daughter deserved. He had moved to the city just 3 days ago, and everything still felt overwhelming. New streets to navigate, new routines to establish, new challenges to face as a single father in an unfamiliar place. The line moved slowly forward. Michael could see the barista working alone behind the counter, clearly overwhelmed by the Monday morning rush. When he finally reached the register, he ordered a simple black coffee and a chocolate croissant for later. "That'll be $6.50, the young barista said. Looking frazzled, Michael reached for his wallet. His hands searched the inside pocket of his jacket, then the outside pockets, then his jeans. His stomach sank as the realization hit him. In the chaos of the morning, he had left his wallet on the kitchen counter. "I'm so sorry," he said, feeling heat rise to his face. "I left my wallet at home. I can come back later." The people behind him shifted impatiently. Michael could feel their eyes on him, could sense their frustration at the delay. He started to step aside, embarrassment washing over him. "Wait," a voice said from behind him. Michael turned to see a woman standing in line. She had blonde hair that fell in soft waves past her shoulders, and she wore a deep red dress that stood out against the muted colors of the coffee shop. Her expression was kind, understanding. "Let me get that for you," she said, stepping forward. "No, I couldn't possibly," Michael began. "It's just coffee," she said, with a gentle smile. "We've all had those mornings." "Please, I insist." Before he could protest further, she handed her card to the barista. "Add his order to mine." Michael felt a mix of gratitude and discomfort. He wasn't used to accepting help from strangers, especially not from someone who looked like she had her life together while his was falling apart at the seams. "Thank you," he said sincerely. "Really, this is incredibly kind. Can I at least get your name so I can pay you back?" "Emma," she said. "Emma Harper. And there's no need to pay me back. Just pass the kindness forward when you get the chance. I'm Michael Thornton, and I promise I will." They moved to the side counter to wait for their orders. The coffee shop hummed with morning energy around them. People rushed in and out, checking phones, calling out orders, living their busy lives. "You're not from around here," Emma observed, her tone conversational rather than intrusive. "That obvious." Michael smiled. "Just moved here 3 days ago. Still getting my bearings." "Boston can be overwhelming at first," Emma said, "but it grows on you. What brings you to the city?" "A new job," Michael explained. "Well, hopefully a new job. I have an interview today, actually, at Mercer Industries." Something flickered across Emma's face, an expression Michael couldn't quite read. Surprise, maybe, or recognition. "Mercer Industries," she repeated. "That's a good company." "I hope so," Michael said. "I'm a single dad. My daughter Sophie, she's 3. I need something stable, you know. Somewhere we can build a life." Emma nodded, her expression softening. That's important. Stability, especially for children. The barista called their names. Emma grabbed her latte while Michael took his black coffee. As they headed toward the door together, Michael felt compelled to say more. I really can't thank you enough, he said. This morning has been a disaster, and you just turned it around completely. Sometimes that's all it takes, Emma said. One small kindness to shift everything. They stepped outside into the bright October morning. The air was crisp and clean, carrying the scent of fallen leaves. Emma paused on the sidewalk, turning to face him. Good luck with your interview, Michael, she said warmly. I have a feeling you're going to do great. Thank you, Emma, for everything. She smiled once more, then walked away down the street, disappearing into the flow of morning commuters. Michael watched her go, feeling grateful and oddly energized. Maybe today would turn out all right after all. 4 hours later, Michael sat in the reception area of Mercer Industries, his nerves building with each passing minute. The office was modern and sleek, all glass and polished wood, with contemporary art on the walls. He had already met with the HR director and the marketing team lead. Now he was waiting for the final interview with the CEO. Mr. Thornton. An assistant appeared in the doorway. Ms. Harper will see you now. Michael's heart skipped. Harper, no, it couldn't be. It had to be a coincidence. Boston was a big city, full of Harpers. He followed the assistant down a hallway and into a corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Charles River. Behind a large desk sat the woman from the coffee shop, Emma Dot. She looked up as he entered, and for a moment they both froze. Then a slow smile spread across her face. Mr. Thornton, she said, standing and extending her hand. We meet again. Michael shook her hand, his mind racing. You're the CEO. I am, Emma confirmed. Though I don't usually lead with that when meeting people in coffee shops. Please, sit down. Michael sat, trying to process this unexpected turn. The woman who had bought him coffee, who had shown him kindness when he was at his lowest that morning, was the person who would decide his future at this company. I have to be honest, Emma said, leaning back in her chair. Your resume is impressive. Your experience speaks for itself. But what happened this morning tells me more about you than any interview could. Michael's confusion must have shown on his face because Emma continued. You were embarrassed, clearly having a difficult morning, but you remained polite and gracious. You accepted help with humility. And when we talked, you spoke about your daughter, about wanting to provide stability for her. That tells me you understand what really matters. She picked up a folder from her desk. Michael, I've been CEO of Mercer Industries for 2 years. In that time, I've learned that skills can be taught, but character cannot. You showed me your character this morning, even though you didn't know who I was. Michael's heart was pounding. I just tried to be decent. Exactly, Emma said. And that's exactly what we need here. Someone who treats people with respect, whether they're a stranger in a coffee shop or a potential employer. Someone who values family and stability. Someone who knows how to accept help when they need it. She stood up and extended her hand again. Welcome to Mercer Industries, Michael. I'd like to offer you the position. Relief flooded through him. Michael stood, shaking her hand firmly. Thank you. You won't regret this. I don't think I will, Emma said. And Michael, about that coffee. You mentioned paying it forward. That's the kind of culture we're building here. Kindness, support, people helping each other succeed. As Michael left the office that afternoon, his phone buzzed with a text from Sophie's preschool. They had sent a photo of his daughter painting at an easel, her face covered in colorful smudges, her smile bright and wide. He looked up at the Boston skyline, at the autumn sun casting golden light across the city. Sometimes life's biggest opportunities came disguised as small moments of kindness. Sometimes the strangers we helped became the people who changed our lives. And sometimes, a simple cup of coffee could open the door to everything you'd been hoping for. Michael smiled and headed home to his daughter, ready to start their new life in Boston.